Yes, guys.
Oh, you've muted, bruv. Oh, there you go.
Last mic. Swear down. Right, we're back. We're back. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all of that crap as soon as you get into the building. Yeah, this microphone's going to be on the blink a little bit. I'm going to get a new USB sorted, but you guys can still hear me, so it's all good as long as we ain't doing the helium mic. Everything is calm. Shout out to everybody though. Big up, man. This is not lateness is greatness. This is the earliest we've been on time in like fucking months. So, yo, just enjoy. Just enjoy. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Mitchy boy. Jason. Mark. Big up to all you, man. We're back here again.
Hey, yo, what's going on with your voice, cuz?
The helium thing again.
It did for 1 second.
Yeah, you know what? Just shit off, man. We'll work with I. I'll do the webcam mic thing for today. I can't be bothered.
Well, you sound clear.
Right.
So whatever you done now, you sound clear now, bruv. You're fine now.
Yeah, I just bin that shit off. We're just gonna run with the webcam mic. It'll do for today. But I haven't even got the chance to welcome you into the show. Big up, Guni. It's great to have you back on the channel as always. Everybody sub to Man Knows Football. The link is literally in the title right now. I've just dropped it. So every single one of you guys head over there.
I'll be honest. Hold on. I'll be honest with you. There's not even a point in subscribing to that channel because I'm not going to be continuing with that. This is the first time I've actually made this public. So it's RIP Man Knows Football. But that doesn't mean that I'm not coming back onto YouTube. That doesn't mean that. Yeah, I'll come back onto YouTube, but you guys are just going to have to wait and see what content's coming. But yeah, man knows
well,
football.
Let us know because we'll promote, we'll push people over there. Like we always say, rising tide lifts all ships and all of that. But
yeah, man,
welcome back anyway.
Good to be back. Good to be back. And it's a happier time as well to be back. You get me?
Trust. Because like we were speaking about this backstage. It's the first time in ages where it's like, yo, nothing that you lot in terms of rival fans, nothing you lot can say to me phases me. We're in a good position. We're comfortable. We're chilling. We are this close to, not even this close. We look shoo-ins to get into the top 4 and complete what the initial target was for last season. Nobody can tell me anything. I look at where we are. I look at the trajectory of this football club. I look at the trajectory of these individuals, the improvement that I've seen individually and from a tactical perspective. Nobody can say anything to unsettle me, man. No one can say shit.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel the same way. And for the first time in 2 seasons minimum, I'm actually going into games and I'm not panicking. I'm actually saying in my head, although we ain't scored yet, we're gonna break through. And actually, I've got proof because yesterday, I was talking to someone I follow. His name's Henry on Twitter. Proper good brother, clean-hearted guy. But he felt at that moment that it was gonna be a frustrating draw. And I type back, we'll score. And then what happened? Cucurella gets the header and we score. And I'm starting to feel that as each game passes. And that for me is just something that I've been asking for. I've been very harsh and very critical on the players. A lot of them have stepped up. A lot of them have actually proved me wrong. And you know what? I don't take back what I said because what I said is there to see. But I will accept accountability.
No reason to.
No, but listen, I'm here. I'll accept accountability for those of you that say, so what you saying about Jackson now? What you saying about Enzo now? And so and so. Listen, that's all I was asking for. So I will welcome every bit of banter coming my way. It's all good.
No, because like, here's the thing. The criticism that you get, especially for Enzo Fernandez, I think it was fair at the time of it being given. Now, with hindsight, I do think maybe we were a little bit harsh in terms of, and I say we, me, myself as well, because when it got to the start of this season, I was starting to gun for him a little bit because I'm seeing you get more of the ball. I'm seeing you be in better positions than you were last season. I don't think you're making the most out of it. It seems now it was a mix of a confidence issue and also I think now he's finally come back from the hernia situation because you see him off the ball, he's different. He's actually covering ground a lot faster. Yeah. He seems a lot better defensively. The reading defensively has improved as well. And this is just like you said, the level that we wanted to see from him. It's just good that now we're watching him at this level. Like, we could be like, cool, this is the guy that we spent 100 million on. This is the guy who now, I'm not saying he don't get into our best 11. Now I say he competes for our best 11 spots, just like
Hmm.
everybody else. It's no
Hmm.
longer an uncomfortable conversation about what happens with Enzo Fernandez. It's now a very comfortable headache about who starts and what game it is. And like, this is literally just all that we wanted.
Yeah, this is all that we're asking for, and fair play to those players that stepped up. But I think massive credit also has to go to Maresca, because even him, Chelsea, it's, the club itself it's a huge club, and then our fan base are notorious for wanting nothing but the best. So if you are
Mm.
coming in unproven off the bat, it's going to be difficult for you. You got a lot of convincing to do to win the fans over, myself included, and especially a manager that's just come from the championship too. Let's have it right. And you're seeing other managers that are going to other places. One of the targets that I wanted was Hansi Flick. He goes over to Barcelona. Amarim was in the whispers amongst the Chelsea fan base. I was definitely entertaining that. He's now gone to Manchester United, so on and so forth. But it seems like we found a diamond in the rough potentially. I mean, so far he's done absolute wonders, and you can see that the entire squad is buying into his ideas, and you can see that there's a different kind of unity around Chelsea Football Club, and we have to give a lot of credit to Maresca. Even how he's managed the squad, I think that's been very much underrated. I mean, I do hear people talk about it, but I don't think it can be overemphasized enough. The fact that he was able to keep, especially problematic players with injuries, is be able to keep most of them fit. Obviously, Reece James, it's sad what's going on with
That's
him, but yeah, we hope he recovers, gets over his injury, players and back to his best. But some players, unfortunately, no matter how much you do, their bodies are just gonna let them down, and unfortunately, Reece James is one of them. But outside of him, we've seen Wesley Fofana. Although he's injured, he's injured again, but we've seen him for a decent spell of the season so far. Romeo Lavia, he's come back into the season. Although he's had niggling injuries here and there, Maresca's been able to manage that, and he's been able to get a little bit more out of him than I thought perhaps a Mauricio Pochettino would. So it's these little things that are intangibles that will also help us in terms of progressing this season and continuing with the form that we're on. Yeah, we're good enough. And also, in the conference league, how he's managing that. It's two teams basically. It's a B team to play for the conference league, and then when it's time to do business in the Premier League, he's more times out of 10 he's got his strongest 11 outside the suspensions and injuries. So I've got to give the manager credit, 100%.
Yeah, and like even in spite of like just getting everybody on track, it's also like we can seamlessly take in anybody from the B team, put them into the A team, and they understand their role in the squad. You
Mm-hmm.
watch the B team matches, you see every single player is still playing the exact same philosophy and they
Yes.
understand their role.
Yeah.
If you look at the comparison from Chelsea from last season to this season, it's night and day. The build up is improved. The retention on the ball has improved. The positional awareness has improved. The transitional defending, you look at the Brentford game, it's got better. You even looking to just the Brentford game to see improvements. That was another example of how like low blocks were a problem. I don't think they're a problem for us anymore. I really don't. And like I could tell before this game, just off games like Nottingham Forest at home, that was the first real worry for me where I was like, okay, we know what their game is. They're going to come back and they're just going to defend, especially when we concede the first goal. But we broke them down. We just didn't finish our chances. That's all it came down to. Couple good saves from Sells, couple bad misses, there or
Mm-hmm.
thereabouts. This Brentford game, we stuck to a game plan. It was crossing. We were cross heavy. We had like, I think 20, 21 crosses in the first half all by itself. And we got our first goal off a corner. The game plan was effective. We
Right.
bring them out. They start trying to attack a little bit more because they got to chase the game. We don't score initially. Like they're trying to pepper our goal. They haven't really got the same level of chance creation as we do, but they've opened up space behind us. We bag the second, the game is over. Game plan worked superbly. I look at what we're doing this season under Maresca. My only gripe is the goalkeeper, and then the goalkeeper had a good game. So it's like I'm just chill.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Honestly, and I think the overarching message that I got from what you were saying is something that's also key is Maresca. Not only has he implemented his foundational style of football, he's also able to play in different ways that are also effective because you know we our throughout the season our plan hasn't really been to span the box with crosses. You know what I mean? That's not really the plan. But he's sort of adapting to the different kinds of or to the different opposition that we're facing, and everything seems to be effective. You know what I mean? So it's looking good. And in terms of low blocks, the reason why I'm not even worried about that no more, obviously we can see through the results, but we have technicians in this team. We've got technicians
Yes.
in this team that are able to pick out that pass, that are not overhitting passes, that are not consistently overhitting crosses. Some of them are. Malo Gusto, he's still got to work on that. But listen, everything else with Gusto, I'm cool with. But he's got to work on his final delivery. But outside of that, we're picking the balls at the right time, releasing the balls at the right time, finding ourselves in good space at the right time, and we've got the brains to do it. Pedro Neto. He's been excellent for me. I really like him, and the fact that again testament to Maresca because that's a man that's had injury problems throughout his career. He's come to Chelsea now, a manager that's been able to kind of work with his injuries, and now look, he's available. Yeah, touch wood, he doesn't get no injuries, but yeah, he's available. Jaden Sancho, you know what I mean? That brain, you
Bro,
can see
signing of the season.
absolutely. He's a playmaker out wide. Like the way he and the thing is, this is the thing about Sancho as well. Yeah, you see when he lines up his man, he rarely loses the ball. He rarely loses the ball. It's very difficult to actually get that ball of Jaden Sancho. And that's what I like about him because he's able to shield the ball for his size and he's strong. He's very technical with his feet. He picks the right passes. I love the little 1-2 passes he plays in and around the box as well with players.
Bro,
You
I've been
see one
saying the
thing.
weight of pass, this is his the dribbling, we already know it, but the weight
Hmm.
of passing to me is his best attribute over anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He does frustrate me sometimes when he doesn't shoot. He does overthink it sometimes when he is in the box. But you get me. He's still relatively at an age where he can learn. So that's good. And for
I
25
think
M's,
it's
I
like
mean,
you get that with your playmakers.
yeah.
Playmakers are always just like more selfless by nature. That's why I don't mind it as long as you got the playmaking on lock. And we've seen the passing, we've seen the dribbling, we've seen the ball retention. It's just about maybe refining the decision making a bit. And I think Maresca's already improving on that. After the goal against Spurs, Sancho comes out and says, I shot more. The manager's telling me to shoot more.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
here I am.
Let me ask you. You see, when we went 2-0 down to Spurs, did you think that did you feel like shit, this is gonna turn into five now? Because I'll be honest with you, me personally, when we went 2-0 down, a part of me said, you know what? I still think we're in this, you know. We just need to grab one early goal either before the half is over or early in the second half, and we'll get ourselves back into it. And that for
Yep.
me, that game for me, right? It showed me a lot. It began actually the shift in my mind. It was one of the things that massively shifted me on this squad is the fact that it's all good when things are going well, when things are going in your favor. But when you face adversity and you face tough times, and remember, it's not going to get more tougher than that. You're in the away ground and you're at the scums ground as well. You're at White Hart Lane. Do you know what I mean? It's as tough as it gets. So for
They're all
them
up
to
for
be
it
able
now.
to
2-0, you get the crowd up.
exactly now, when you're able to still mentally stay switched on and understand that there's a game left to win, which we haven't shown over the past several seasons, that to me is the biggest indicator, one of the biggest indicators of a positive mentality shift. That these guys are going from boys and transitioning into men, and they showed us that that day. They knew where they
Mm-hmm.
were, they knew what their responsibility was, and they knew that it is their responsibility because to this day it is unacceptable to lose to Spurs. And they knew that and they acted on it. So I'm proud of them. So that was a mentality that I like to see.
Facts. And like they I look at so many different individuals when we talk about the mentality thing. And Sancho, for example, we say don't really shoot enough. That's the one thing we want to see more from him. 2-0 down, you need someone to deliver a moment of magic. Jaden Sancho steps up.
Yep.
I
Yep.
look at Nicholas Jackson and the growth I've seen from this guy mentally last season. Last
Hmm.
season, he was telling man to shut up on the touchline and everything
Yeah.
like that. This season, no, last season as well, he had a disaster class against Spurs and still left with a hat trick. Man was doing the Sue and everything. This time, he doesn't get a goal. He is leaving the pitch in tears. He is
Yeah.
that pissed off with himself.
Yeah.
I thought, like, God forbid, did he lose somebody today or something? Like, what the fuck was this reaction? But no, he was just annoyed about the fact that he didn't get anything out of that game. And another thing I liked about it too, I said about on Twitter a week ago, he didn't take it out on anybody. I've seen man when they get subbed off, they have a bad game, they're not slapping hands with the other substitute, they're fucking off the manager, they're straight down the tunnel. This guy didn't take out on Maresca, didn't take out on Kunku, just kept it to himself, kept that hunger and that determination to himself. And then we take it to the yesterday's game. I didn't think he was all that. Like, I think a lot of things didn't work out for him in yesterday's game too.
No,
But
they didn't. Yeah,
the
facts.
motivation, the determination, it was still there. He still kept just waiting for his opportunity, because that's all you can do as a striker sometimes. Sometimes you get those sorts of games where nothing's really working for you. The link-up play ain't really there. You're not really getting the chances, but you need to be awake, because at one point you will get that chance. And when he did, the fucking finish was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And you know what else I've got to give Nico as well is not even that long before that. Well, in that game, he missed an absolute glaring sitter. And
Yes.
if that was, for example, right, let me give you guys an example in difference of mentality, right? I want you to think back to a particular striker that we had, Alvaro Morata.
Oh,
If that was
oh.
Morata missing that chance, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to hide all
Head
game. We're
down.
going to see it, head down, confidence shot to pieces, and you're probably not going to get a performance from him for the next 2 or 3 games, right? I think what this manager's done, he's come in and he's let this team know everybody needs to take accountability for themselves. Every single person. You need to behave like men. If you want to go anywhere in this professional game, if you want to go anywhere in life, learn to take accountability for yourself. Because if you do not take accountability for yourself and your errors and the mistakes that you do make, you'll never be able to improve on them. So I think that's what the message that's been given here. Hence why you'll see in Nicholas Jackson when he's coming off after he knows he's had a stinker. We know he's had a stinker. His head's down and he's upset. He's being hard on himself. Sometimes, yeah, it can be difficult to see, but sometimes those things are a blessing in disguise because it is good to be your own worst critic. It is good to be your own worst
Hmm.
critic because it means you're aware of what you're doing wrong and you know what to do better next time. And that's only going to serve him well in terms of becoming a better player. So I think everybody's taken that on, and this is why you're seeing individual performances improve. Another one that we haven't mentioned, my goodness, this guy, Moises Caicedo. This
Bar
guy,
blood
this
clot. Oh
guy,
my.
this
Woohoo!
guy,
Woohoo!
this guy, yeah, he was good towards the tail end of last season. Yeah. But if any one of us expected the level that he's gone from just last season to where he's at now, I'd call you a liar. Because this guy, for me, hands down, is the best midfielder in the Premier League right now. People say Gravenberch, people will say somebody else, but for me, it's Moises Caicedo. And another thing
Mhm.
is that not always your best player is your most important player. Because to me, Cole Palmer is the best player on the team, 100%. But Caicedo is the most important player. We would not be in the position that we are in if it was not for Moises Caicedo, and for several reasons. Caicedo's form has allowed players around him to be able to play and to get the best out of them. Enzo Fernandez definitely being one of them.
Yeah.
100%. Lavia is also a contribution to that as well, but we'll have a separate conversation about Lavia because right now we've got to talk about Moises Caicedo. He deserves his own praise, his own piece on this show. He has been absolutely phenomenal.
Bro, you're preaching to the choir. Like, I'll give a whole hour just praising Moises Caicedo because, like, this is a guy who I saw get disrespected to death last season. We were stuck in Endo debates. We were stuck in McTominay debates.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve to be anywhere near those scrubs. And it's another one where I have to give credit to Maresca because he's simply just given him the structure to be able to showcase this guy's ability. But the level up has been insane. It's now getting to a point where it's N'Golo level consistency. That's where
Yes.
I'm starting to think he's at because I look at the Brighton game, everything I was just watching him do, if I could define in one word, efficient. Efficient.
Yes.
If the ball's going near Caicedo, I'm not worried about the next action. We're going to be all right. Whether it's just him breaking up the play, sticking a foot out to make a tackle, progressing the ball
Progressing,
either through
yes.
carrying it or just passing it, one or the other. He's doing it. And like that is what we had with N'Golo. N'Golo at his prime, just do your thing with the ball. I don't give a damn. I don't have to question it at all. I know you're going to play to a world-class level. And he's now playing at a level where it's kind of got to have the world-class conversation because a lot
Mate,
of
it's
people
getting
act
out of
like,
hand. It's getting out of hand because you see yesterday uh against Brentford, bro, like you see the way he was breaking up play in their third, it just his positioning. And another thing as well with Caicedo is before I used to worry about his tackling. Now he's winning the ball clean and he's doing it with his weaker foot, bro. Yeah. Those of you that have played football and have been played in combative positions, right, understand that it's not easy to go with your less dominant foot and win the ball cleanly as well. And he's doing it. He's doing it. And this is shades definitely of N'Golo Kante. Is he as good? No, I'm not gonna say that yet. Absolutely not yet, because Kante is once in a
you
generation
need a
type of
few
player.
more years
100.
for that.
But
But the
what Caicedo's
trajectory,
doing now is at an exceptional level. If he can keep this up, he'll be a core reason as to why, if we win silverware this season, he'll definitely be one of the names. Absolutely.
like this is one number like we retired the 25 for the right person. We brought
Yeah.
it back and we brought it back for the right guy too.
Yeah.
Like with Caicedo, like we already know where we stand with this guy. And I'm saying he's world class solely because it's been 2.5 seasons of Caicedo at a top level because it was only the first half of last season when he was bad. And I think
Yeah.
because of that first half, I think a lot of us forgot how good he was for Brighton as well. Like, there's a reason
Mm-hmm.
why we spent that 150 million on him.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why some of us are saying no to Rice for that amount. I'm not
Yeah.
spending that on Rice, but I'll
Yeah.
spend that on Caicedo because Caicedo is better in all areas of the pitch. Caicedo is
100%.
much, much better progressively than anything Declan Rice could ever bring to us. And that is the difference between a player of Declan Rice's quality and a player of Caicedo's
Caicedo's
quality.
quality.
So
Facts, man.
again, I want to say, Josh, I hear you saying still too early. Like I won't argue down too much from that. For me, I'm ready to say it. I think 2.5 seasons playing at the Premier League. This guy, I think, was in the team of the season in 22-23. Correct me if I'm wrong. If he wasn't, he was definitely up for that nomination. So he's been doing this in the league consistently. Towards
Mm-hmm.
the end of last season, he was performing well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it was genuinely a structural issue until we got to the last 5 games where we inverted the left back and then we started balling out and everything like that. It was just Caicedo making up 40 yards of space by himself, and he was just starting to adapt. He was
Yeah.
starting to adapt to it. The performances were looking better. In spite of us not climbing up the table, I couldn't look at him and say he was a problem. So to me, look, world class, world class. Shout out to Matisse
Performances.
in the chat. Big up to you, my G. Bless up.
Performances have been of a world class level. Some of them, but for me to label him as a world class player, I'm gonna wait because you know me, Lewis. I like patience. I like to wait. I like to have a larger sample size before I make a definitive
Like to be the
decision
chill
about a
guy.
player. Yeah,
Respect.
yeah, yeah. That's just me. I mean, I've been burnt before. I don't know if you guys remember on back again the season where we got all the injuries just before Christmas. I was saying, yeah, we're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league. It was with Tommy T, and it all went wrong. You know what I mean? So kind of taught me to pump the brakes a little bit and just wait, just wait. And especially listen, I can't just forget about the past 2 seasons that we've had. It's still relatively early, fresh in memory. Not saying that we're gonna go back to that form. Absolutely not. I ain't saying that. But I'm saying I'm going to pace myself before I say that we are in a fighting chance to win the title. That's when I will say
Okay.
we're in the title race. Yeah,
Because I
but
was gonna ask you that. I was gonna be like, so where's your head at with that? So we're on the same wavelength then.
so yeah, well, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. It's gonna be a very cop out answer, but at the end of the day, it's the truth, bruv. I'm honestly just looking at each game as it comes. You know what I mean? I'm focused right now. I'm not thinking about what's gonna happen in March, what's gonna happen in April, what's gonna happen in May. I'm thinking about what's gonna happen in Goodison Park in our next game. 3 points. That's all I'm thinking about. Because my expectation at the beginning of the season was to get top four. I didn't expect us to be in a title race. So what I'm doing right now is I'm focusing on that objective, which pretty much looks like a shoe-in, like you said at the beginning of the stream, right? I'm focusing on that. I'm focusing on building a cushion on Arsenal. Then come March, we'll have the conversation. In fact, it might even be earlier than that. If we beat Everton at Goodison Park, our run between then and I believe it's like the 20 something of January where we face Manchester City,
Yeah.
I think those games are winnable. Or at very bare minimum, we can go undefeated until then. That's how I feel. If we
Even
do
then, I
that
think we only have one Big Six game between
now and March,
now and March. Yeah, and I
and
think
that's the only
it's
one.
yeah, Tottenham's in April. Oh, brother.
That's the only one. So that's the only one. So if we go through that unscathed, right, and we continue to pick up points as we have, then the conversation might have to come a little earlier than March. That's what I'll say. But let's see this run because it's going to be, although these games look favourable, no game in the Premier League is easy. The boys still have to get the result. Until then, it's all just chat. We've got to get the result. So each game at a time right now.
Facts. And like that ain't no cop out. That's the exact same wavelength that I've been trying to preach to everybody as well. A lot of the guys in the chat get it as well. There's some people who think we are in a tight race, and I've said as a Chelsea fan, I don't mind you saying that. That's not going to be a thing where if we don't win the league, I'll be like, I told you so. No.
Yeah,
You want to believe in our club to that level? You go and
it's
do
up
that,
to
man.
you.
It's good that we can even flex like that. But for
Yeah.
me, road to 70. You see how you said like focus on consolidating top four?
Hmm.
70 points to me is the breaking point. You
That's a good
get
way to
there,
look at it.
you've got top four sorted. Now, a title contending team gets to that by around February, March, in my opinion. If we
Okay.
get to there by February, March, there is enough points on the table where we can think, you know what? Run me that league. Run me that
Hmm.
league. We can take that. Cool. Until then, it's just the rivals trying to push it
That's it.
because
Yeah.
we're the calmest one in the top six. Everyone
It's
else is
it's a
stressed.
banana
Notice that.
skin, and you know what as well, yeah, it's a banana skin. It's a banana skin because what they're waiting for, right, is a dip in form, and then they're gonna take all the quote tweets, they're gonna take pictures, they're gonna take video clips. Yeah, you said that you're gonna win the league. You guys bottled it. What happened? This and that and the other. No, and the thing is, you see
Mm-hmm.
where we make it even harder for them is we know what title winning squads look like. Yeah. So big up Eunice, because just as Eunice said in one of his videos, we will tell you when we are in a title race because we have enough
I actually agree
experience
with that.
to know. We have enough experience to know what a title winning team looks like. And for me, I do have my doubts. My number one being the obvious one, the big elephant in the room, and that
The
is
number one.
Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez is a big worry for me. Although yesterday he performed very well. It was one of his better games in the Chelsea shirt. However, he's not shown us that consistency over several games. Yeah, and the title winning team need that from a goalkeeper 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games, 12 games on the trot. It's relentless. You know this, which is why the majority of title winning teams, they always have an elite goalkeeper more times out of 10. Look at our goalkeepers we won titles with. Peter Cech, Thibaut Courtois. Those two are elite. Do you know what I mean? Look at
The
Manchester
worst
City.
goalkeeper I think that's won the league as a starter would be Kasper Schmeichel.
You see, and he wasn't even a terrible goalkeeper. He was
Yeah.
making absolutely top quality saves during that season.
Maybe
So
Barthez and he won a World Cup, so it can't even be him.
yeah, exactly. So you don't really see scrubs in goal that lift the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? So like unless Sanchez is form increases exponentially, and I mean beyond what you saw from Jackson beginning to what he is now, the jumper's got to be bigger than that. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
so I know that's too much to ask. So that's one thing that worries me. Another thing is this is our defense, right? The ability in that defense is there, but the maturity isn't quite there yet. And again, that's because we have a relatively young squad. So naturally, you're going to have issues of immaturity. You're going to have growing pains and so on and so forth. The problem is when you play in defense, not especially at the highest level, not one moment you can switch off. You cannot switch off. Your concentration has to be on 100. Your awareness has to be on 100. And that game yesterday, right, the goal that we conceded yesterday was an epitome. You switch off for just 1 second, you get punished. This is the Premier League. And we've made several of those slips already. If Maresca and this squad can improve on the lapses in concentration, then the conversation now becomes different. Or if we're able to bring in somebody in January, which I highly doubt is going to be top class and who's going to raise the ceiling, right? It's very difficult to do that in January. Then okay, cool. Then I'll be closer convinced to say, right, we can win this title. But I need more proof because this squad is young. It still has to grow. And that's a very mature position. Those two positions that I'm talking about, goalkeeper and defense, they're very mature positions. Sir Alex Ferguson used to say the first three names on his team sheet that he used to pick was goalkeeper and two centre backs. Then he'd build the team around that. There's no coincidence as to why he said
Didn't know
that.
that.
Yeah, no,
But
he
it
did.
makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense because to me, like you have one or the other, and I might listen to the title race a little bit. Like if we had a goalkeeper that I know I can believe in, he's going to save us a lot of points. Would have saved us a lot of points by this point in the season compared to the amount that Sanchez has already cost us. I could hear
Hmm.
it, but to have that and the two questionable centre backs, I don't know. I can't see it yet. And I think Maresca's done a really good job at tempering expectations too. He's
Yeah.
clearly told the whole team that our wavelength is one game at a time and you don't let anybody else tell you otherwise.
Hmm.
Jackson's coming out and saying, I'm not even looking at the table. What's the table? I'm focusing on 3 points. And other than that, I don't care. Palmer, same energy. Noni, same energy. It's clearly a wavelength from the players and the manager that they're trying to send to the fans. And I'll be real, I think that this one chill guy narrative has united the fan base more than anything I've seen in years.
Hmm.
Everybody's happy to just put their hands in their pockets and just say, Tile, what tile? We're just enjoying our football because we've lost everything and we're getting it back. Now
Yeah.
we're back. You think you can rattle us? You didn't even expect us to get to this point, and now you think you can change the expectations. We're just gonna fall for the Kool-Aid like everyone else fell for the rival Kool-Aid over the
Hmm.
last 2 years. No,
No,
leave
no.
us alone. And it's just united everybody.
No, it has. It has big time, and it kind of makes the past two seasons, the beef amongst the fans. It just looks like sibling rivalries. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. It just feels like we're just a bunch of siblings that are fighting each other, and now things have gotten better. We're all united again. Do you know what I mean? All of it is forgotten, and we move forward as a fan base. You know what I mean? But then it just goes to show, man, is like even in negative times, it's a negativity for one common cause, and that common cause is the love for Chelsea Football Club. Everybody wants to see the club improve, but they want to see it in their own way, and that's where communication, right, gets a bit hostile because everybody has their own way of improving something. No two people always agree, and that's how heads clash. But the most
Yeah.
important thing is we're all one track minded. We want Chelsea to be doing well. We want Chelsea to be winning trophies because that's what ultimately unites us all. So it's amazing to see, man. It's brilliant to see. It's a good feeling. At the moment, I'm just like I said, one game at a time, and just enjoy watching Chelsea. When we get to the business end of the season, conversations can be had.
Yeah, like for me, I like the unity. I also like us holding a couple fans accountable as well, only because I don't mind people who have been critical or been against areas of what Clear Lake's been doing over the last 2 years. What I didn't like was the reaction on match day one. Match day one, when we didn't beat Manchester City and everybody was like, oh, we're done, we're finished. It's going to be another
Hmm.
mid table season and all of that. It's like you lot were just waiting because like we could have had this energy last season when we were literally mid-table all the way until April, late April. But we were happy to just put our hands in our pockets and just ignore all of it because we don't know the names of any of these players. Now it's like you lot weren't even trying to give Maresca a chance. You were onto him from 20 minutes in against Man City. Like that is crazy, and that to me isn't support. Now, being critical of things when we're not in a good position, be it individuals, be it the direction of the club, like, I get that. There's got to be a level where standards have to be upheld. It's not just
Yeah.
blind back the process and everything, but to go against the club as a whole, I didn't rate that. And that's why I also get on the way some fans are moving in terms of reminding people that, look, you guys were doing way too much in terms of being critical about the club as a whole. So it looked like you were just cussing out Chelsea full stop. Like, you
Right.
have to at least back something, be it the players, be it the plan, be it the board, whatever. But there's got to be something that you're backing. The players were not bad enough last season to think we're going to be mid-table again this season. No chance. And if they are, let them dig their own grave. Like, I will say, I was never Poch out from the start, but like,
Yeah.
I let him dig his own grave. He hung himself by December. It is what it is. Maresca could have had that sort of like leeway to at least either hang yourself or to show you all of this. And I wanted to go against him from day one. That was crazy. Like, and again, for a lot of people, like we all want to see Chelsea improve. Felt like for some people, it's like they wanted to see Chelsea fail just to vindicate their own takes on the club.
Indicate that, yeah, and that's always the wrong thing to do. You know, it's always the wrong thing to do, to wanna, something to fail just to prove your point, because that's just narcissistic and egotistical. Do you know what I mean? Who wants that in any walk of life? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Who shouldn't do that? Me, I've been very critical. You know me. I get emotional. I shout. I scream. I say certain
All part of the
things.
game,
You
innit?
know, yeah, it is part of the game. It definitely is part of the game. But in terms of match day one, now I disagree with all the booing and all that kind of stuff, especially on the manager's first debut game. Don't know nothing about him. Give him a chance. You know what I mean? But again, sometimes it can be difficult to turn around from hostile situations like that, especially a manager who's never managed, you know, been a head manager, head coach at a top club. It can be hard, and this is a vindication of his mentality. 100%. A
Yeah.
big vindication of his mentality, because time and time again last season, when things weren't going right, we've crumbled. We've just wilted under pressure. Now it's not the case. It's not the case. Big
Mm-hmm.
mentality shift. And in terms of Maresca being hired and not the Manchester City result, I think a lot of that frustration has also come from the previous two seasons that we've had, and on top of the fact that Maresca at that point, nobody, not anybody, would have predicted that we'd be in the position that we're in now. In fact, me and myself included, I had a lot of doubts. I was like, this guy, he won the championship. He ain't managed at a top club. Yeah, he was there with Guardiola for his treble winning season, but that's not really the be all and end all. Like, what experience does he have? So I definitely had my question marks. And to start this,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the question, because even I would like, you can go back to a Poch sacking video. I said maybe not the championship managers. Everyone else I don't mind getting. That's fine.
yeah,
Like, championship manager, I understand that. My thing
yeah,
is just we are playing the four Peters on match day one. Like, if we lost 2-0 to like
yeah,
Wolves or something like
four
that,
Peters,
fair enough. I
treble winners.
understand.
Hmm.
Manchester City, and in 20 minutes, you man have already shown your ass. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what?
It's I know. I mean, I mean, I'm always pissed when we don't get 3 points, but then, you know, when cooler heads prevail, you kind of understand. Yeah, these man just done the 4P and they're treble winners. However, obviously they're not having the best season right now, but we're
Mm,
unfortunate. I truly believe time just wasn't on our side, because if we were playing Manchester City instead of Everton in our next game, I'd be telling you, bruv, we need to go there, get 3 points, absolutely no excuses,
mm-hmm.
100%. But it wasn't like that at the beginning of the season. So yeah, it's just
We had
about
Palmer and
timing.
Jackson just coming back from preseason as well. Now I really think
Yeah,
about it.
it's just about
They literally
timing.
had 30 minutes.
And look, let's say for example we had Brentford at Stamford Bridge as our first game of the season, right? We could have lost that. It could have been we could have lost
Probably.
that, but we didn't. But this is what I'm saying about timing.
Because you look
Sometimes,
at Palace, for example, when they went to low block after they equalised, we were clueless. We didn't know
yeah,
what to do. They
yeah,
had us. Like, we're just
yeah.
lucky they weren't good going forward. So, yeah, like, that could have been a different game.
No, 100%, 100%. But yeah, this squad, man, this squad deserves its praise, as well as the manager. Lavia is another one. That's somebody I was massively advocating to come to Chelsea Football Club. Even from Southampton, I used to say, like, this boy is going to be an elite player eventually. He definitely will be. He's got the tools. And a lot of people, they said, yo, like, he's young, like, what's he really done? But I said, I don't, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can look at a player and you can just see that this player is destined to be a special player. And Lavia was that. He's come into this Chelsea team as well, and I think he's also been another ceiling raiser. I think playing him, Caicedo, and Enzo, and on the pitch at the same time, there's nothing better in the Premier League for me right now in this moment in time. There isn't. That is the best midfield combination that you can have.
Because now
Yeah.
Enzo's much more confident going further forward. You can allow Caicedo to do the inverted role
Even
from right back.
Caicedo, because yeah,
Yes.
even Caicedo trusts who's behind him. Because Lavia is not just about breaking up play. Lavia can also, transition the ball very well. He can also carry the ball very well. He's also very press resistant as well. Sometimes, yes, he does lose the ball, right? And this is what I do want to say because I've heard a bit of criticism for some of the mistakes that he's, where he's lost the ball and it's cost us a goal. Lavia plays in a very risky position in terms of he's expected to distribute possession and hold possession in a very risky area, which is in front of the defense. And the rule of thumb is going to tell you once every while in a professional league with a standard as high as the Premier League, you're going to lose the ball once in a while. It's just unfortunate that's the area that he's got to hold down. But more times out
Mm.
of 10 for me, I think he's been absolutely brilliant. I think he's been excellent. Like he's been another reason why our counter attacks have been so crisp because he's able to get his head up, beat his man and play a positive pass forward, right? And if he doesn't, and if he can't play the long range pass forward, he's got somebody who's close enough to him, and Enzo who can play that pass, a Caicedo who can see and play that pass. This midfield is complete. It has everything. When everybody is on song and on form, singing from the same hymn sheet, everybody has everything we need: creativity, tenacity, transition, everything that we need. So yeah, this is it's beautiful to watch us now, man, from so many different angles. Because we're not even gone on to the attack, Lewis. We're not even really spoken about the attack. We're not really gone into Nicholas Jackson. We're not really gone into Cole Palmer, Sancho, Neto, even Maduki, bruv.
So many promising areas of the
Mm-hmm.
pitch because, like you say with Lavia, like I get it's a difficult role for him, but if there's anybody that makes it look so natural, it's him. I could watch a full 2 hour comp of this man just baiting the press.
Yeah,
And like I
yeah,
would never get bored. It is so flawless. It is so natural. Just the turns and then the weight of pass and the decision making afterwards. I don't think there's anybody better in the league at just doing that. Just
yeah,
turning out of a press, finding a pass. And it's that simple to help us start our transitional plays. You add that with Caicedo and Enzo in the middle, best midfield in the fucking league
yeah,
by a mile.
yeah.
And like you said, we haven't
Absolutely.
even got to the final third because I'm seeing the improvement in individuals there too. Like
Mm-hmm.
Noni, I think, is very heavily criticized, partly because of like where Sancho is very selfless. I feel like with Noni, I don't even think he's that selfish. I think even that is something that is overstated nowadays. But he's more the selfish type compared to a Sancho. And when it doesn't work out, he gets cussed out for it. But I don't think it's nearly as bad as people give it credit
Okay,
for.
so this is what I'll say about that, and some of you are going to be surprised. I'm going to actually defend the brother. Now, it's a good contrast to have. Do you know what I mean? Because you also have to naturally look at what they're good at on in those positions. Yes, they occupy similar spaces, but their roles are different. That's the first thing we have to highlight. Jadon Sancho, how did we describe him earlier? As a wide playmaker, because that's what he is. He likes to create. He can create. He can do the 1-2s and get inside the box and assist. He can score when he wants
Mm.
to. But you can see his thing is creativity, is dribbling, that kind of stuff. Madueke, he's got that, but he is more of a direct winger on goal. That's what he likes to do. And as much as he frustrates me and as much as I hate it at times, I understand that there's a need for it. Because if you had two similar players that are doing the same thing that always want to go, it's going to frustrate you. If they both always want to go for goal when they can't always score, it's going to frustrate you. Like if they both never want to shoot and they just want to cut back and pass or play it in the middle when they can shoot, it's going to frustrate you. So sometimes it's good to have one and sometimes it's good to have the other. All that needs to be done in both cases is refining, right? Sancho, he needs to shoot more, and the manager's told him, you need to shoot more, right? Hopefully, we'll see him shoot more and he'll get more goals as a result on top of the assists that he gets. Madueke, what I'd say with him is there's certain aspects of his mentality that does need to change. But his finishing slightly needs to improve if he's going to shoot as much as he does. And he also has to know when to be selfish and when not to be selfish. And the same
Mm.
applies for Jadon Sancho, but in terms of vice versa. Know when not to be selfish. Right. Yeah. No, when to be selfish and when not to be selfish. Because sometimes he's just overly not selfish. You know what I mean? So for me, it's the contrast it's good. It's good to have.
And he's at the right age for it too. Like for me, I liken it to like Sterling, but Sterling's 29. You can't be asked for this crap at this age. Like you gotta at least be able to pattern the decision making.
Hmm.
Noni is very promising for where he is, and he's a better dribbler than Sterling is right now. You could argue an
Oh
even
yeah, he
better
is.
finisher than Sterling is. Noni 1v1, I'll take any day ending in a Y over fucking Sterling 1v1 with anybody, be it a defender, be
That
it.
was clear as day. That was clear as day when he came to the club. But then, if you had watched Raheem Sterling, his one of his main strengths wasn't to isolate a defender and strip him one on one and just get past him. That really wasn't his thing. For Sterling, his strengths, the best Sterling that we saw at Manchester City was off the shoulder of the defender, um, other players making space for him to run into. And at the time when he was scoring them 20 goals, his finishing was a lot better. But he was getting the opportunities and running into the correct spaces. At Chelsea, when we were facing so many low blocks, he didn't always have the opportunity to make those runs and so on and so forth. So I feel like in certain aspects, he had to kind of, refine his game a little bit. And unfortunately, he wasn't entirely playing to Raheem Sterling's strength. So for me, he needed to go. Like I never, when Sterling was made available at the time, I said Sterling would only make sense to me for two reasons. Number one, we sign a better winger that's ahead of him, and he's the second option. And number two, he takes a pay cut because he's paid too much money. Simple. That's the only way that
Yeah.
it would have made sense to me. So for Sterling to leave, I think it's necessary, 100%.
Oh yeah, without a shadow. Without a shadow. Like there's no you don't even get back into the team when he's back. Like
Yeah,
no he's not starting on the left. We've got better options there. On the right, we've got better options.
yeah,
10, we're flooded with options. There's not even a point.
hmm,
So it's about just finding you a club or you're back in the bomb squad. And we
yeah.
gotta figure that one out from there. But I also don't really know where his head's at. Because for me, this is the best paycheck he's ever gonna have. He could
I think so
easily just do
too.
the drink water and sit on it.
And let's be honest. I think I don't think it's beyond possibility that he's checked out at the highest level. I think what
Yeah.
he realizes is, he's never gonna get a salary anywhere as good as he's getting at Chelsea. He's already at home in London. He's from North Wheezy like me. He's a local boy. Do you know what I
Speaking
mean?
of, we just got a pies tweet on Sterling. Literally, just as we were talking about
Just
him.
as we're
No plans to
talking.
touch for his loan move, and he wants to stay at Arsenal. Please,
Okay,
don't
that's a
even
good
come
thing.
back.
That's a
Just
good
stay.
thing. That's a brilliant thing. That's a brilliant thing because I think Arteta is a bit of a passion merchant as well. I think if Sterling, even though Sterling's got not got the greatest performances at Arsenal, but I do think that if he shows a desire and willingness to stay at the club, Arteta's going to be like, you see, this is the mentality that we need. He's been there, he's won it, he's done everything, and he wants to play for Arsenal. This and that and the other, and I think they'll end up signing him, and it will just be a repeat, rinse and repeat of Kai Havertz, potentially even worse than Kai Havertz.
Yo, I'd love to think it, but like this guy don't even come off the bench for them anymore. It's like I think even Arteta's just like, yeah, I can't help you. I can't help you. It is what it is. Which says a
I
lot because this
mean.
guy's still dying on the Havertz hill. But bro, Sterling, you stay over there, man. This is the best decision making I've
I
seen from
mean,
you
I,
in
I I
years.
mean, he's for me, it's more so the interest of balancing the books because he's on what 325 or two, I don't know, but he's on astronomical figures. That I'd say, based on his career, he deserves, but at Chelsea right now, compared to what others who are on way less, he doesn't deserve it. He don't deserve it. It's time to move him on. It's time to go. I just hope he realizes it, and perhaps Saudi Arabia can come and increase his wages a little bit, and is tempted by the offer, man. But something has to give. Sterling can't stay at this club. There's no way.
I I don't know because I think about it from a Sterling perspective. He joined us number one because he wanted to be the main man somewhere. Clearly he
Hmm.
isn't, but he wanted to do the main man gimmick, and also he wanted to move back to London. The man's a Wembley boy, innit? So it's like
Yeah, like I say, he's
he's got
local.
his
He's
kids in the
local.
Arsenal academy, which is why he ended up going on loan there. I don't think he leaves. And I look around like London, Palace can't afford his wages.
Yeah.
Does he even start at West Ham?
My
Fulham,
auntie,
forget. Brentford, forget. He don't even start at Brentford. Wisser and Embuemo, you're getting the fucking bin. He don't start there either.
my auntie works with his mum, with Raheem's mum.
I swear.
I can't say where, and like, just this isn't, and people, by the way, this ain't me just name dropping, because I've never had a conversation with Raheem Sterling, just putting that out there. But just let you know, yeah, he's super local, you know what I mean? He's there.
Yeah, that's why I don't think he goes anywhere. We're gonna have a really big headache with this one. But I guess it's like the least of our problems, thankfully. Sterling, you figure out the rest of your future, but it ain't gonna be here, bruv. Not unless you take a fat pay cut that I don't think he's going to do. I really don't. And if he does, he could end up taking that and just going to another club. Go to like fucking Palace or some shit. Maybe they'll take
I
you
think
over
I,
there.
I think there might be life for him in another league, but the problem is his other leagues ain't gonna pay what he's asking for.
And I just
Definitely.
don't think he wants that either. Like he's been in England his entire career.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants that. Like he joined us because London. London was such an attractive option for him to bring himself back home. I
He's
think our
got to go,
best
yeah.
bet is hoping he'd like drop down the league a little bit, go to a Palace or something. Maybe that would work for him. If
Yeah.
they lose Buemo at Brentford, maybe like just throw him over there. You don't
Go
even have
to
to
one of
move,
them teams, yeah, for real. No, for
or
real,
just
man.
like hope Arsenal keep him and like try and like tug at the heartstrings with the family ties and everything. I'm sure like Arsenal love that shit, so that could work.
Yeah,
That could
they'll
work.
they'll
Try.
they'll start they'll start making bare Jamaica color kits and that, and have Raheem Sterling promoting that. Trust me, just gonna
Yeah,
try. Yeah,
summertime. Get the Carney kits out. You already know,
they're
man. You
PR
already.
kings. You already know, like they're gonna milk that. They're PR kings. So, but anyway, fingers crossed. Hopefully, it will be beautiful if he stayed at Arsenal, because may the banter continue over at that club. I hate them so much, bruv. I hate them
Facts,
so
man.
much.
You know
Yeah.
how rattled they are right now that us and Liverpool are above them in 3 months of a new coach. They
Oh
can't
yeah.
take it.
Oh yeah,
They're fuming.
especially, do you remember the chat that they was giving before the start of the season? Well, we're the only team that's really closest to Manchester City, so I think it's gonna be same again. Yeah, we could win the league this season, but like I think it's just gonna be between us and City again. Well, how's it looking for both teams, bruv? We're 7 points clear of Man City, we're 4 points
Hmm.
clear of Arsenal. Yeah. I
Every
don't
year
even
they think they've done us over with a transfer, and every year we've just given you another scrub from the 22-23 season, and you haven't noticed.
Yep, yep, they're finished. Their best opportunity to stop their 2 decade drought was in the last 2 seasons. They're never going to
And
get that
what did
again.
they do? They signed Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. You
Disgraceful. They
fucking
had the
idiots.
opportunity. This was their golden opportunity to also build themselves a dynasty where they could have been winning things repeatedly for years, and they flopped it.
Hmm.
Absolutely shut that one down the toilet, bruv. Yeah, so long may it continue. And then on top of that as well, like I've been telling Arsenal fans since last season, this is gonna be Saliba's last season with that club. I feel like it is. I feel it's over. I feel it's over. And
You go trophyless again?
I'm also gonna say something very, very controversial here, and people are gonna call me crazy.
Big up,
I
MJ.
heard that Saliba will be down to the last year of his contract in the summer. I don't know how true that is, or at whatever point, right? If that is the case, and Real Madrid have not made the bid, Chelsea need to revert to old school Abramovich type when he went over
Oh,
there to get Ashley Cole and do the same with Saliba. Listen to me, mate. Yeah, I say, look, we know it's Arsenal, but it's been done before, and we gave him a fucking European trophy and some Premier Leagues along with it. We're trying to do the same. Yeah, we'll pay whatever they want. You come to our club, and you're gonna partner Colwell. Come on, bro. Who wouldn't want to do that? Listen, as much as I fucking hate Arsenal, Saliba's an elite centre back. Let's be
yep.
honest. Let's be honest. And sometimes you gotta do moves like that. And if we do that, that'll be a huge fucking statement. But chances are probably 5% chance of it happening.
We
You know what I
the
mean?
level of little broing them that would be. We just died, respawned, and took your best centre back.
I would. I swear
Fucking
down.
hell.
If I was Todd Bowley and Bedadik Bali, the way I've been slinging my nuts about on tables all over Europe and around the world, I'd be going to the Emirates right on the table. Here they are. Fucking give us Saliba now. Yeah, Saliba, contract, we give that to you. Whatever you need. Yeah, you're coming here, we're winning titles, we're trying to win the Champions League. What are you saying? These man ain't won a serious trophy for the past 2 decades. You're still trying to risk it here. Yeah,
Talk about a
bro.
way to fully endear yourself to the Chelsea fans, by the way. You pull
Instant
off a coup
cult
like
hero.
that,
Instant cult hero. If he did that, instant cult hero, bruv. You know what I
like
mean?
that
But
is, and again, it's a perfect example of our chances with Arsenal compared to the other way around. They
exactly.
take the scrubs, we take the ballers, and we make them better.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Although, as
mean,
much as I think about it, I think he's gone to Real Madrid.
yeah, I think so
Lions
too.
players.
Right? Like I said, that's why I said it's a 5% chance. But just to ask the question, Winter Surfer, if Arsenal said, right, 80 million or 70 million, 75 million, 80 million to sign Saliba, would you do it?
Yeah, I would.
100%.
I would do it.
Lewis, would you do it?
Yeah. Immediately.
Yeah, I'd do it as well.
We got and on top of that, we got rid of Disasi as well.
Yeah, big up to him
See you
immediately.
later.
I might chuck Ben Chilwell in there as well. I might chuck Ben Chilwell. They need a left back. They need a left back. That's all I'm saying. Arsenal need.
You know what? We'll give you Sterling on loan for one more year.
Yeah, we'll give you Sterling. We'll give you
the
Sterling for free. Take it for free.
I'd definitely be doing that. And if by some chance Arsenal don't get Champions League football next season, I would definitely be trying to test the waters at least at bare minimum.
That's bad.
Yeah, like bro, we'll see how it goes in the next year or two because I really want to believe in that, but we'll see. We'll see. Arsenal gotta go trophyless for another year or two first. They've still got a little bit of like leg room with his contract. They could easily just say fuck off, we ain't selling him this summer. He's got another 2 that he's got to go through, but
okay, all right. So then what I heard is
I
wrong.
think it's a 3-year contract, isn't it? I think.
I might be wrong. Again, I might be wrong.
The 2 years.
Let me 2 years in the summer.
It's gonna be 2 years this summer.
2 years, but they'll start negotiating. They should start negotiating.
2027 it expires. So yeah.
For 2
okay
years.
then.
Yeah.
All right then.
For 2 years, they should start negotiating, but I don't think he'll negotiate until they see what they does. Until they see what they do in the summer.
They gotta win a trophy first. Otherwise, you are going through the same shit that you're going through in the 2010s and good. It's the equivalent of us being close to the league title and then buying Højlund as our big striker signing.
Yeah.
The exact equivalent. My head would be on Mars. This close to a title, you bring me Kai Havertz. Prick. But thank you. Thank you very much for that. Just thinking of the next game, though. Because there is a little bit of an injury crisis. Just a little bit on the defensive side. So we haven't got Fofana. We haven't got Badiashile. Cucurella's obviously out for the game as well. How are we feeling with, like, I'm assuming it would be Vega, Tosin, and Colwell. Or maybe we do like Gusto playing on the left again and we move Caicedo to the right, drop Lavia in. I
think that's most likely what's going to happen.
If Lavia's fit.
Yeah. Lavia, because he didn't play Lavia because he wanted him.
I think Maresca said he'd be back for the next game.
Yeah, he wanted it. He said he wants Lavia fit for the Christmas period. So I think he should be all right to play. But I can see us going with Caicedo at right back and then probably Gusto at left back, to be honest with you. Which obviously, all things considered, I'm not entirely against that. Vega for me, I mean, he's done all right since he's come in, but I still need to see more from him before I can definitively say, yeah, let's start him against. Because remember, every game that we're playing now is a cup final. Every single game. That's how I'm looking at it. Every game is a cup final, so there's no room for slip up. So that's what I can see the manager doing. And then you probably have Enzo and Lavia in that pivot. Obviously, Caicedo inverting in there to make it a midfield free at times. But that's enough for me to go out there and get the result. 100%. We can get a result against Everton. 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I've just noticed something in the chat. Datrish Mahel said, "Oh, it's Everton, anyways. Please research our."
Yeah, I'll record that goodness like that.
I ain't rocking. Listen, I think if we get an early goal, there's a possibility we could overturn them, like quite a lot. But if you offered me like a 1-0 win, whatever, and I'll just take it right now.
Champa.
Because-
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
No, but he'll start on Thursday, won't he? Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe. I just think it's something where it's weird how the fixture lists have worked out this season. It's like the records like Brentford at home and then Everton away. I mean, if you then put up like Newcastle away after that, if that would have happened and we would have won there, I mean, then you've got to think the omens are broken in terms of what we can do in this title race. Do you know what I mean? But like it's going to be they're going to play another low block again, like they did at Everton, like they did against Arsenal. I think. I think if we score early, we could really hopefully do some damage and get out of there without picking up any injuries or any suspensions for Fulham on Boxing Day. It's going to be a difficult game. I'm glad it's not at 7 o'clock. It's like a 2 p.m. kickoff, so that's fine. But yeah, Neto's back. Neto should be back as well.
Yeah, from suspension.
So it's just we just need to get out of there with all 3 points. Essentially, not worry about the performance as much.
Yeah, the goal needs to be early. Now you just because I've just realized the Christmas schedule. We'll be playing every 4 days after that.
Yeah, so
rotation can't be as strong.
Well, I'm very fortunate that our last European game is actually Thursday. It's not like the Europa League and Champions League that have another 2 games in January. Plus the FA Cup starts as well. And there's like League Cup. I think there's League Cup semi-finals in January as well. So whoever makes it, those 2 extra games for whether they rotate or not.
That Morecambe game, you'll see like Astana.
Oh, you'll see an Astana lineup. I presume more against Morecambe. That should you'll see like
they're
an
like
Achimpong.
League 2, I think.
Yeah,
right?
you'll see like an Achimpong, Tariq George, Mark Gui start. Jorgensen, stuff like that. And maybe at that time we get back Badishil, get back a Fofana, stuff like that.
Maybe even Reece.
I don't really count Reece at the moment. You know what I mean? It's sort of like he's always injured. It's like
fair enough.
Night turning into day, isn't it? Really. So yeah.
Well, it's just whenever you're back, like it's just nice to see you.
Well, now Josh is going to sign or has signed the contract. He should be given more minutes. Do you know what I mean?
No, you should be getting the Conference League minutes. I hear it.
Yeah, but he should definitely be getting definitely the FA Cup game against Morecambe as well. I think.
Yeah, he should be playing that. I imagine.
He's playing that. So should Tariq George.
Because with Reece, you don't ever have to get him up to speed and everything. Like we've proven to Anfield.
The whole point that Achimpong didn't play any minutes is because he didn't sign the contract. If he'd actually signed the contract, Achimpong would probably have more minutes this season in terms of League Cup and Europa League and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Because we had Gusto out injured for part of the season as well. We had to play Sassier or Fofana at right back for a couple of games. So or even like Caicedo and stuff like that. That's the whole point. But that's up to Maresca to deal with. And also against Fulham, we'll get a fresh Cucurella back as well. So that's also something.
Yeah, it's just going through the next game at a time. Same thing Enzo Maresca's been saying. One game at a time, focus on what's next at hand. We have a very good run of games coming up, not just up until January, up until April. Yeah. Because if we progress in the FA Cup, that Arsenal away match is being moved, so that's going to be something we deal with towards the run-in as well. So you look at the games we have.
So I know people don't like to say we're in a title race. When I say we're in a title race, I just say we're in a race. I don't think we're going to win it. However,
is it more of a mathematical perspective for you?
Yeah, I've always said,
I understand that. Yeah,
the longer we're in a title race, that means we're further away from the top 4 race. You understand that, right? Everyone understands that, right? So that means our main objective in the league has been achieved. Okay. However, if we are consistent and hang in there with Liverpool, we have to make sure that their game in hand doesn't mean anything in terms of them extending points over us.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
It means I want it to mean that they have to keep up with us. That's why, or they have to keep level with us, or they have to go only 1 point ahead of us, because then they have to come to the bridge in May, and that could be a humongous game. That could be the biggest Chelsea-Liverpool game since. Oh wait, I forgot about the finals.
Champions League.
I forgot about the finals recently. So that's because they always beat us. So and also I think it's amazing. I think this January transfer window is actually probably the most important window the new owners have faced so far, about whether they choose to add something to the squad, whether it's a striker, whether it's a centre back. I'm leaning towards more centre back than striker at the moment because I don't think they're going to bring in another goalkeeper. I'm resigned to the fact that that's just not going to happen in
that would
January.
be a summer move if anything.
You got 10 anyway. I'm not shocked.
But you might like this, Lewis. There's a certain someone in part of Spain, okay, that can't get registered for their team. I'm talking about Andreas Christensen.
Could only be in it.
I'm just thinking, right? I don't think they'll want a big price for him because the reason Dani Olmo is registered is because this guy was injured. That's the only reason Dani Olmo played for Barcelona this season because Christensen got that. Or do you know what? You want to be ambitious? Try a sneaky bid for Rudiger or something like that. Do you know what I mean? To see if he wants to come back or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, just roll with it. But I think, especially if reports are true that we're trying to offload this Disasi as well in January. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to bring in a centre back then, only because of injury.
We're gonna go for Thomas Araujo at Benfica.
Yeah, I'm not gonna see the issue is I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna. I'll query it because I'm not saying not play, but recently the signings have been sort of more hit than miss. You know what I mean? So it's like I have to, and we got the scouts now look like geniuses in most of these transfers in the past year or so. Do you know what I mean? They look like geniuses, don't they?
Yeah.
It's just working, and listen, I trust Maresca, whoever we bring. I trust Maresca, whoever we bring in for him to, establish them. It won't be a Hincapié. It won't be a Hincapié. That'd be a monster layout for someone like that. I think that'd be like about 40, 50 million, something like that. Hincapié. So
I don't know too much about Araujo like that. What the hell is this?
18-year-old striker Stefanos Simas.
Oh, this will be like the Guri transfer, won't it? That's all it'll be.
Yeah, he's not coming in to start. That's not.
Yeah, this guy's going to be like sold for about 30 million.
Fucking children.
It's going to be sold for 30 million in about 2 years. That's what happened.
Wow, I don't care. Give me the transfer dopamine, and we'll see what you're like in 2-3 years.
You know what's going to happen I'm thinking if there is a striker signing, it'll be Liam Delap, but he'll be sent back on loan to Ipswich for the season.
Maybe.
I think
that's a high possibility. I think that's also a high possibility.
Don't you think the conversation?
We ain't got a lot of loans, do we?
But the thing is, don't you think the conversation has changed from the summer where it was like Defo Osman because we weren't sure about Jackson? Now Jackson showed a lot of improvement. It's more like a conversation of a backup for Jackson now. Instead of
I don't know. I still think that we will be in for a Gyökeres. I think we will be involved in that. I still think it's too early to rule us out because another thing as well is Gyökeres has been on our books since he's been at Coventry. It's not it's not just a recent form thing. This is a player that our scouts actually know. And on top of that, when Stanley has history with him, some say it's not the most positive, but he was the one that scouted him to Brighton, but he's also the one that let him go. So potentially there could be something there. I wouldn't overlook that. And I think a striker like him is needed 100%.
Now, he's got good wages as well, to be fair. He'd suit our wage structure.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, forget the wage structure. If we get Champions League, it's going to unlock the next.
Everyone goes up.
Everybody's wages go up, so we can afford to offer more.
Our wage bill will rise. Our wage bill will rise quite significantly. If we make it to the Champions League, it will go up. What's going to help is getting 60 million for the World Club Cup just by entering it. So that's going to help, like covering and stuff. I don't know, but you're right. It's an interesting discussion. I think the summer is going to be more about outs and ins for me because I think Andre Santos is going to be added to the midfield.
He's a must.
A must. Yeah. He is source. I know it's Strasbourg. I don't really care, but you know what I mean. He is sourcing out there.
No, he's been. But the thing is like we've seen that he's been a player, and I was actually surprised. At first, I was upset that we loaned him out. But then I understood, you know what? I'd rather this boy go out there and play games and show what he really is because I had a lot of confidence in him. So it's good to see how he's performing. And the thing is as well is he has a natural leadership mentality, which is what I love about this guy. because I believe he led the Brazil youth team to either a Confed or youth or something like that, one of them competitions, and he scored in like most of the rounds. And you could see like throughout the coverage that they did, he was like very vocal, galvanizing the team, whatever. He's a mentality that we definitely need to add into the squad, 100%.
And then speaking of Brazilian youth, you got Estevao joining as well.
Oh yeah,
and I'm just glad. I'm just glad at the moment. Obviously, hindsight's one thing. I'm just glad he's coming into a situation where we don't have to throw him in right away. We can let him settle into a new continent with his family and stuff like that, and he can start getting injury. Pies, I think I've read his going on to Strasbourg alone. I think.
Yeah,
Strasbourg that would make sense. Yeah,
that makes sense, especially if you can utilize Estevao in a 10 as well as wide as well.
Yeah, because I think the Pies hype has kind of died down a little.
Yeah, having a lot about him. You know.
Pies. This is the thing with Pies, right? Is off the pitch, his behaviour is kind of naughty sometimes. You know what I mean? But we got to remember, Pies is 16, 17. So I think the right thing for him is actually a loan move. I don't think his maturity is there just yet, especially with the plans that they have for him. Because remember, they've envisioned this kid to be being part of the first team squad fairly soon. So it might be like he has one loan out and then he's back involved in the first team. Estevao, I think will keep. I think he might be a bit of an exception to the rule. Because from what I've seen, by all accounts, he does look like a very good player. I do still reserve some judgment because I need to see him play in Europe, because Europe is a different kettle of fish. But he definitely has the technical foundations to be a good player.
Yep. Yeah, like we just gotta bed him in slowly. That's all we gotta do. And like, I don't know what level he's gonna join us in, but it's about more like the physical stature as well. He needs to bulk up a little bit more. Maybe see how if he can handle the intensity of the Prem. But we've got so many squad options.
Do you know what? To be fair on Estevao, he's already kind of starting to put on muscle mass. Like, just go back to last season and have a look at him and look at the pictures of him now. You can see that a little muscle mass is being put on. But also, remember, naturally, he's still growing into his body. He's, 17, 18? So he's got another several years before he fulfills his true size.
Yeah, like, I can see there's a bit of mass. There's a bit more mass.
A little extra, yeah.
A little bit of definition starting to show. I see it.
And also, just going back to the goalkeepers, Petrovic is having a good season with Strasbourg. I just want to put that out there.
He's meant to have some of the best passing stats in the league for goalkeepers.
Ironic.
Yeah, ironic. That was the thing why he didn't worry. That was one of the reasons they said we were getting him on loan. Is because they could have.
They played to Leon Rosenholm.
Leroy Rossini, was the manager over there. Yeah, but he's low key having a good season. Strasbourg are doing funny. I don't hear any complaints from Strasbourg fans anymore about protests, but there we go.
But that's as well. It's part of the reason why we can't take Santos in January. Just out of that.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be smart. Keep him where he is.
Keep him where he is. I don't want to listen. I think there's rumours Ugo Chukwu may be brought back from loan. So if that is an issue, that he can obviously be there as an extra body and stuff like that. So
depends on the new coach, innit?
Yeah, it does.
Russell Martin giving him no game time.
Yeah, he took everything about Southampton off his social media as well. So it's like he doesn't want to be there. Essentially, like that. I thought it was a mistake, given our midfield resources, sending him out. Actually, given the fact that Lavia is like injured now and again, and I don't really rate Cassaday or Dewsbury Hall. So
yeah,
it's just one of those. Plus, he could play. You know what? I'd bring him back and let him play like in all of the Conference League stuff. So
well, this season.
Yeah, you could bring him back. You can register him. Yeah,
I don't know. I'd honestly, I'd keep him at Strasbourg, bro.
No, not Santos. Not Santos. Ugo Chukwu.
Okay. Yeah. Understood.
No, not Santos. I'll leave Santos where he is. He might.
Leslie was good in pre-season.
Yeah, exactly.
He could help Strasbourg
really
get
good
the
Yeah, I could hear the argument. I really could. Whatever happened, Dewsbury Hall, like, look, here's what it is. Whatever
No.
happened,
I'm not getting on Dewsbury Hall. I know what Dewsbury Hall transfer was. That was to get a messenger in the dressing room about Maresca. He was the inside man for Maresca. It was a steep thing, 30 million, but it was just the book of Maresca, the book according to Maresca. It was there. We all know dressing rooms are a lot tighter together than actual coaches. You know what I mean? That's all it was. That's all it was. And we know.
And you know what? We'll give you a Conference League for that.
And he'll be sold in the summer. He'll be sold in the summer because Andre Santos will be coming back. He'll be sold, and we'll get we'll get someone to pay the exact same price or about 5 or 10 million more.
Apparently, Villa want him.
Well,
Villa, Leicester. I think was there an Everton link? I can't remember, but it's more.
I'd be selling him to Villa, and I'd be saying, "Yo, what do you want for the goalkeeper?"
Hey, now we're talking. Because I thought you were going to say Duran. I would have backed that too, but like, yo, you want to say the goalkeeper?
I would as well. I'm not going to lie. Duran's looking good, but I still need to wait. I still need to wait. Because remember, Aston Villa are asking for mad peas.
Yeah, like we don't know what his level's going to be at, what his price is going to be at in the next few weeks, seasons. So, yeah, I hear it. Shout out to Javon in the chat. Big up to you as well. I'm just going to run through these super chats quickly. Big up to Pacharo. He says, were you fan of Triple H NXT Black and Gold? Yes, but I didn't follow it weekly. Like, I was just checking it through the YouTube channel and all that, school times and everything. But big up to you, Pacharo, my guy. Big up Dinishan, saying Maresca set up tactics per game. Tactician and coach. Game management. We don't get that. We haven't had that for a fucking minute.
You know what that message is right, because we were crossing in the ball a lot more than we have done previously. Yesterday, we were going more wider. Yesterday,
there's a clear game.
We haven't done so. Yeah, that's what I mean. Change, like for Everton, we'll play totally different against Everton than we did against Brentford.
Listen, lads. Sorry, I'm gonna have to run, but people. Big up yourselves.
Guni, bro, thank you for hopping on, man. I always appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. It's always good talking football with you lot, man. And everybody in the chat, big up yourselves. Make sure you smash that like button. You get me?
Yep. Big up, bro. Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Yeah,
big up to Mo as well, saying in London in January, we need 2 West Ham tickets. Bro, I think I think, who was it? Kai wanted a West Ham ticket or 2 as well. So I'll see what I can do. There's already a list, but like message me privately, and I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can help.
Oh, it's home, innit? I thought it was away again. I was about to say, you're so far away from the pitch. Away at West Ham.
Fuck West Ham away. Between that and the 12:30 kickoff, I was like, fuck this. I'm not gonna fuck that. What was the other one? Estabal is very determined. I haven't got to like lock into a full match of him yet. I think I'll watch like a half and like him off the bench for Brazil against.
He'll be playing for Palmeiras in the Club World Cup. So.
Oh shit! Yeah. We can actually
we're playing against Inter Miami. We're playing against Messi, so
swear down.
Yeah.
Nice. So who's in Palmeiras' group? Is there anybody else that we know?
Oh no, it was Inter Miami and some scrubs.
Inter Miami, Palmeiras, Al Ali, and Porto. They got Porto.
Oh, Porto. Sorry, not Porto. Yeah.
So what's his name? Omrodion versus Estabal.
Yes, Samu. Yeah. AVB runs that club. You know that AVB runs Porto.
Villas Boas.
Yeah, he's like their president. He's like their club president. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
I have no idea. I just like he does. I just saw him do the interviews this season about Samu, like about him scoring because he was on a mad run when he first went there.
Yeah, he's the sports executive, president of Porto. Oh, brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fair play. Okay, well, he found a role for himself because the managerial thing didn't seem like it was working for him. Fair fucking play. That is mad. That is fucking mad. Just quickly, though, just before we wrap up, I never actually spoke to you about the Brentford game. So how was your thoughts on the game as a whole? The management, the way we handled the low block? What was your thoughts on everything?
I thought for a brief 10 to 15 minute period when they had the couple of chances and hit the bar, I thought we controlled most of it. I thought we were calm. Jackson missed an open goal essentially before he scored, and that was at 1-0. Was it the best performance? No, it's been better performance. Was it the worst performance? No. I don't really think anyone had a poor game yesterday, in my opinion. You know, Caicedo was a beast. Thought Maresca played well. Some people said he didn't play well. I thought he played well. I thought Palmer played
It's
well.
just because not every chance he had was like,
Yeah.
not every
I'd love
chance
to
he had
see
on
Maresca on the left for once, wouldn't you? Just see what you can do
I
on the
think we
left.
tried that for a little bit in the second half.
But
Because I noticed Sancho was coming off the right for a bit and Noni was
Yeah.
tracking left.
Yeah, I would just like to see him giving a run on the left so he doesn't have to think about cutting back in on his left. Even though he has got a very good right foot. So one of those. And I think Palmer played well. I think we're getting to the point where we have to distinguish like Palmer playing well when he doesn't have GNA. He could have actually got a couple of assists yesterday because remember Tosin missed that header. And then
I saw people trying to say he had a bad game. It's like this guy really just has to get GNA for people to rate.
And also
him.
remember he gave the ball to Sancho. Remember when Sancho went round the goalkeeper? But he did an extra.
He tried to be a little bit too.
Yeah, tried to be cheeky on that one. So yeah, it was very good. I thought Cucurella played very well, even though he's an idiot at the end. Getting that second, it's like just don't do it. I don't think anyone had a bad game. I thought it was all good. Jackson had a frustrating game until the goal. But
we were speaking about earlier.
Sanchez had a very good game. Made 2 very good saves. Everyone forgets. Everyone will talk about that volley save, but that save when he ran out and when Bruno was closing down in the second half, and he ran out and got the ball. Yeah. Even his distribution, his decision making was on point yesterday. And if I get more games of Sanchez like that, then I'll stop talking about getting a new goalkeeper. You know what I mean? we all will.
We need more than that.
More than that.
We've been here before. We were starting to build up our faith in him around September. I was like, you know what? This is all right. This is decent. Yeah. The performances are going well.
Exactly.
Then, after everything from Brighton was just.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone down. It's like you can. But it's like I remember Maresca only made 1 sub yesterday. I was in Cuckoo
because our bench looked dead. It's like all the blocks that we had, Felix, Badiashile, Lavia, all of that.
I think most of that bench is going to play a full 90 against Shamrock Rovers. That's right.
Definitely. That's why the second goal was so important. Jackson scores. Yeah. Don't have to worry about no bench.
That bench sort of
felt like we were getting a bit tired before that point. I don't know if you were.
Yeah, that's when they started. That's when they had their 10 to 15 minute period. When we backed off a bit. That bench reminded me of Poch's benches last season. Just the only difference was that our main team is actually much better than it was last season, so we didn't have to do that much. But I thought Caicedo was again. I know Cole Palmer's our best player, but this guy's our most important player, Caicedo. I swear to you, look, if he goes down with an injury, we ain't doing shit this season. Do you know what I mean? We will struggle. We will struggle to get multifunctional. We will struggle to get in top 4, I think, if he goes down for a longer period of time.
It's mad, but like I can't really argue that one down because I'm still thinking
especially with Lavia's fitness issues as well.
Yeah, then you just leave Enzo by himself, and I don't even really know who.
Enzo, Vega, Caicedo, and Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, like nah. Caicedo, we need to wrap this guy up in fucking cotton wool whenever he's not playing.
Yeah, bring Hugo Chukwu back. Bring Hugo Chukwu back, man. That's what I would do.
Bring him back with you, man. He had a really promising pre-season. I was a bit disappointed to see him leave.
Bring him back for cover. Bring Hugo Chukwu back, please.
Yeah, like fuck it. Like he's more defensive minded, so that would suit us. Yeah. And like he seemed to improve his ball carrying from what I saw in pre-season. Had the odd goal here or there. One was against Walsall, so it's like whatever. Was it Walsall or Wrexham? That was it.
Wrexham, yeah.
But I mean, in a pre-season with a lot of players who looked iffy, he was a standout for me. So could easily see like a raise in performances from him. But that was the best part about yesterday's game. Players were great, bar like a couple of phases, and that was just it. It was phases. Jackson overcame it. He scored. Noni had some frustrating moments. Then he got the assist. Sanchez on form. Tosin, I was shocked. I didn't expect him to perform that well. He was very good in the air and on the ground. He just blocked everything in sight.
Yeah.
Colwill, same energy. He basically stopped us from going Is it 1-0? Yeah, 1-0 down in the first half. There was a mad block he made. The whole team's performing. Whole team is fucking performing. And this is just an indictment of where this manager has us. And that's why, if man want to say we're in a title race, go do it.
That's fine.
I'm
not
talking anyone down.
Exactly. I think it's a good point. That's what I keep saying. I don't say we're going to win it. I think people are very confused if they think they're in the title race. It's like some people think, "Oh, does that mean you're going to win it?" I said no. You know what I mean? I still think Arsenal in the title race. I don't think they're going to win it. You know what I mean? Man City is still numerically in a title race. I don't think they're going to win it at the moment unless they do some madness in the January transfer window and all their signings hit and stuff like that. But no one's musting us. I'm not being musted by anyone. No one's telling me we must. And you did. First of all, you didn't have us. You didn't have us. You didn't even have us. You barely had us in the top 4 race because of Maresca, and that's fine. But last season, you told me most of these players were shit. That's what you told me. They wouldn't take some of these players, and I always said, I just need to see these players under a more cultured, a more modern day coach, and I have.
I'm taking more players from Wolves then. Chelsea.
Yeah, it's arguable that, apart from Mudryk, because I just think that's a lost cause, it's arguable that he's made every player better this season. Goalkeeper, maybe Sanchez a bit question mark, but it's arguable he's made everyone better this season.
If you go player by player, Colwell's improved.
Yeah.
Enzo's improved. Caicedo's still improved. Lavia, it's a bit harsh because we barely saw him play, but I mean, he's getting a tune out of him.
Yeah.
Cucurella's improved.
Yeah.
Jackson, clear improvement. Noni, clear improvement.
Yeah.
Sancho, goes without saying. Walked in and got better. Gusto, I even think Gusto's starting to understand his role a little bit more. I think that was a much more improved performance from him.
I just don't think you need to invert him. So if you leave Gusto alone, you don't need to invert him. I think Cucurella is a far better inverted fullback than Gusto is. I think you don't overload Gusto's mind. You know what I mean? We saw it in the game yesterday. Cucurella played a bit more inverted. He got the goal. Do you know what I mean? It's just I think he's far better than that. We'll miss that on Sunday against Everton because he won't be there. Marcus Rashford to Arsenal talk has emerged again. Rubbish.
Charles,
it's great. It's great. It's great. It's making all the Arsenal fans mad. I love it.
Please,
you see, they started doing mock-ups.
Be what you are, which is Captain Save-A-Ho.
They've started doing mock-ups of Rashford in Arsenal work kits. I just love it.
It's like these men just genuinely have no fucking shame. It's that they really think they save everybody. Either that or they're just deluded and they'll just fall for the same Kool-Aid every season.
Oh yeah, it's a big improvement to our left-hand side.
He will do well in space. We have a system that suits him more. And,
Marino will unlock him. Rice and Marino will unlock him on there.
Yeah, whatever Kool-Aid that they give you, you'll just drink it up anyway. Even Mudryk, though, I think Mudryk's even improved under Maresca a little bit. He seems to just be a little bit more composed than what I've seen of him before. Conference League attacks, maybe, but I've seen him look crap against worse teams or teams of a similar nature before. Even that one, I think, has been an improvement.
I also think what will help Chelsea fans a bit more get in tune with the title race if we're winning is if Cole Palmer can get to the levels of last season. Because if he can get to the levels of last season, this attack that's already frightening becomes nuclear frightening in terms of what he did last season. If he can replicate even like 70% of that, he'll take this team up a further level, honestly. Because I don't think he's reached last season's level yet. I just don't. And maybe that's because people are playing him differently, and he's obviously playing in a different role. But he's still racking up the numbers. Like you said yesterday, I thought he played good. Yesterday it wasn't where you go, "Oh, where's Cole Palmer?" and stuff like that. He could have walked away.
That's what I think it is. It's just a lack of reliance at this point. Last season, it was if we don't have Palmer, we're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
He's still our best forward, but we have other contributors now. It's not Palmer FC no more. Yeah, and I think his numbers might take a hit as a result of that.
Yeah,
don't really mind.
He's already on 17, and he's only been playing in the league. You know what I mean? He's on 17
Yeah,
already.
he's
He's only been playing the league.
I think he got 42. Was it 42 goal
40
contributions?
40 plus GNA in all comps.
Oh, all comps.
Yeah.
So then it would have been like 30.
I think he got 33 in the Premier League, or 32. He's got 22 league goals and I think 10 or 11 assists.
Yeah, he had 33 last season.
I mean,
so if he's on 17 now, he's basically on track to reach that again.
Yeah, we're halfway through the season. He's already halfway. It's already halfway onto his thing, and he's played less. He's played less games. So if we get him, even if he goes up another 20% or something like that, that's huge for us on that. And like you said, we're not relying on him, but it's not as much. It's not like last season with Cole Palmer does. Like when you went to the Arsenal game and he wasn't playing, it was like, fuck this, it's over.
Walk into a loss.
It's over. It's over. Whereas now, would we miss him if he got injured? Absolutely, we would miss him because he's a brilliant player. But we might be able to, might be others that will step up, like a Sancho and Neto. And Cuckoo if he comes in, or Felix if he comes in. I mean, let's face it. Arsenal are Saka, and that's it. And because they have no one on the left side, that's why Saka's like, if you watch that game against Everton, there was literally 4 players on him every time he got the ball. It was.
They know what they are. You take Saka and Odegaard out, they're shit.
Yeah, and then you look at Liverpool. When you got a player who's contributing 75% of your goals, then, and he goes out, let's just,
finish.
It's one of those.
Fucking finish. Meanwhile, with us, we lose Palmer, or hurt us a bit, but like we have other players. Felix can play there, and Kunku can play there. You add Jackson, Neto, and Sancho to that, we can contribute goals, assists.
You could even play Neto left, Maresca right, and Sancho in the middle. Maybe that's another option as well.
Hey, fine by me, because I know you're still not too keen on João Felix. I get that, and if we're talking a creative perspective, Sancho's going to give me levels more. I get that.
Yeah. I just listen. I'm. If Felix just listen, I like Felix in a way that he doesn't complain, even though he's not had a lot of minutes this season. I like that part of him. That if he shows up and scores in important games, but doesn't get a lot of GNO overall, I don't really care. So if he scores like winners for us, but he only gets like 10 GNA all season, I don't care.
Ultimately, he's just good depth.
It's good depth. So much like yesterday, we could have used him actually as a sub to refresh possibly the second half. Like you said, you thought
especially with them like players forwards, having someone who's just going to go for the shot immediately, gives you an extra threat to worry about. Yeah.
And like I said, it's a funny thing in the summer. It's like if Nkunku gets sold and we get another striker, is that Felix then slotted in as number 210? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like if Palmer's not playing a 10, Felix is definitely playing a 10. It might even have been happening now where he's a number 210.
I think as well for Palmer yesterday was he was playing on the left, and I still thought he was semi-effective. When I saw him occupying those spaces at the start, I thought, fuck, we've really gone back to this again. Why? But the more I'm watching it, he's getting more comfortable. And I still didn't think he was like completely comfortable like he is on the right-hand side, but the effectiveness was a lot better than what I've seen when he's been on the left in the last few games. So maybe just coaching's helped him out a bit more.
Maybe he's going to only do that if we play Enzo. The same now, Enzo wasn't really in the pivot. It was more of a single pivot yesterday. So it wasn't like Enzo was more rightish sort of,
It's a Brentford's game plan. You don't really need a double pivot like that.
No, that's the whole point. It's like I said, we were even he was more crossing the ball than I've seen him do in any game. I can't remember Cole Palmer crossing it as much. I can't remember us crossing it as much as we did yesterday. That seemed to be part of the game plan as well, which is really weird because we don't have tall players. We have Jackson up front. He's not going to physically outmuscle someone in there. He's a good head of the ball, but it was very weird sometimes attacking. We were just Cucurella's mad as well. Diving header. But it's like that it worked, It worked. You have to admit that. So
that's why ultimately it's just this is what I like from my manager. When I'm
Yeah.
questioning things a little bit, it's like, no, this is why I'm the manager. Look, it's working. It's okay. I understand, but like, look, we're cooking. There you are. I like chilling. I like just relaxing, being a chill guy, just thinking, even if I don't really understand this, I'm willing to buy in because we're probably going to get the 3 points anyway.
Just get that second goal a bit quicker. That was all. That was all that was missing yesterday. It was like if we'd gone.
There's a little bit of nervous points, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went. Jackson missed that one at 1-0, and then they started getting more into the game, and so they had that chance, and then they hit the bar, and then it was just that. We need to be more ruthless. That's all,
But even then, it's like we got the goals at the right times. The first one just before half time, it puts them down. The one just when the players are starting to get a bit leggy, deads the game.
But even their goal was that because we messed up on our own throwing. Do you know what I mean? This guy said we must. On his stream earlier, he said we must win the league.
We must.
Yeah,
I was giving him credit for dying on the
pitch. He said we must. I heard him. He said we must. He's a fraud. That's what it is. He said we must because we spent 1.5 mil.
He said we must.
You know what he's saying? We must win the league. That's what he said. You know why he's doing it? I tell you why he's doing it. He fears us now. He fears the meerkats. That's what he does. I know you were joking.
Oh, it was only a joke.
I know you were joking. I know you were joking.
Bro. It's the figure of speech.
I know you were joking. It was AI. It was also AI as well. I know you were joking.
Yeah, it was AI.
I just like to see the meerkat army rise against you. That's all. Meerkats rise. That's what we are.
Yeah, don't let the leopard get killed by a bunch of meerkats.
Yeah, meerkats destroy that tree. Yes, Arteta must. Yes, Arteta must.
I said the tree, bruv. Yeah, Arteta must. We all know that, man. Neither of us have to, but you put that expectation on us, I'm going to put it on the table toppers.
Arteta and Pep must. No one's musting me. So.
Exactly. We're just the chill guys. Like, we're the meerkats. I'm happy with that. Like, that's my nice fight.
Arabello, have you got Osimhen news or are you asking for Osimhen news? Because I don't have it.
Asking for Osimhen news and we haven't
There's
got
nothing new on Osimhen. Nothing fresh on Osimhen whatsoever. And I don't believe there will be.
No. I don't think he's going to leave in January anyway. There'll be like talk. That will be the transfer rumor of like January. Just someone could go in for Osimhen.
Someone's going to get him.
It's like the Benzema stuff from last year. Remember we had the stream where I just had the realization Benzema's waffle. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
The fuck?
Osimhen is currently at Turkey. Thank you, Abdi. Abdi had just confirmed he's in Turkey yet.
Oh, thank you, Abdi. Thank you, Abdi. And Hassam, of course, man. Of course, bro. You already know what it is. Like, A-listers, don't worry. We're gonna have a conversation too, Sam, because you were waffling a lot about our performance. Man said we didn't even play.
He's just mad. He's just mad. He's just mad. He has to take us seriously. That's why now he has to take us seriously now. That's what it is.
I didn't how worried.
Yeah.
Go.
Just like us, no one was expecting this. That's all. I don't think he was expecting himself to be top either. Let's be honest. He wasn't expecting himself to be top. We were all expecting Arsenal now. Yeah,
there you go. We've got him fucking rattled, bro. Because he didn't expect us to be this good. I was like, I'm worried about Chelsea. They're annoying me. They're starting to annoy me. Good, bro. Good.
Maresca out. Maresca out.
Maresca out.
Maresca out.
Maresca out by Christmas. I know you took that back, but you can still hold that. This is why it's the best season I've had following Chelsea in years, and not a single thing a rival fan can say to me is going to ruin my vibe. I am at peace. I couldn't be more at peace if I tried. If I bunned a zoo of the finest Cali that Snoop Dogg created himself, bro, I wouldn't be as calm and as chilled as I am now.
Yeah,
first half of 21-22 was a gas, but here's the thing. When you lose everything and you get it back, that hits different. Because we were accustomed to winning everything and always competing year in and year out. You'd have the one off year and that's it. We haven't had what we've had the last 2 years. So to get back to where we are now, which is where we were in the Abramovich era, by the way, we are back. We are back where we were before Roman left.
Yeah, I mean,
it's different.
Yeah,
because you lost it all.
We haven't been. No, I say that. No, 2022 we were title race. Well, we were top, but I don't think we were discussing title race. Or like we
were thinking about the title that season. It's just when we lost Chilwell and James was.
Oh yeah, and then the Lukaku thing happened around this time as well.
Yeah, too many things. Just that was a domino effect. In it, we started drawing games left, right, and center, slowly creeping out of it. And then before we're worried about the existence of the club.
Well, exactly right. At the end, and then the previous, we got more gassed over transfers than actual games. Do you know what I mean? This time last year, I think I know I definitely did. I flipped on Poch. That's what happened this time last year, I think.
Speaking of this time last year, like let me show everybody this.
Show the points difference. Show the points difference.
Not even the points difference. This a year ago to the fucking day, bruv. Sheffield United at home.
What was this? 0-0? Oh, good lord.
This was the half-time. Half-time, bruv.
We won it 2-0, right? Won it 2-0 in the end? Did we win it 2-0 in the end? Yeah.
2-0 and we looked like garbage the whole way through.
Yeah.
This was what we were doing this time last year. We were told, give him time and everything. Just for the points difference. I didn't even have to bring up myself. The ESPN did. A 15-point gap.
15-point gap.
Of what? 7 losses last season. This time last season, by the way. Like what we were doing last season was a sin and an insult to this entire football club, which is again why this is the best season that I've had in ages. Look what we were suffering through last season. Like I was in disgust watching that Sheffield United game. I remember being there. I was just thinking, we're actually the worst team in this first half against bottom of the table Sheffield United.
So here's the thing. Now we go on streams where last season Chelsea were first because we weren't doing very well or weren't playing very well. Even the second half of last season, I think that was overblown. But now we go into streams now, and either we're like third or fourth, or we are the first because of what we're doing in a positive way. Now, if you told me that last year, if you told me that after the transfer window of Maresca, I would have gone, no, you're on something very mad. You know what I mean? You are. There's no way he's. And I understand it's not an underdog story. When you spend over £1 billion, it's not an underdog story. It's not even like Leicester, right? It's nothing like that because Leicester had no previous history of being in any title race, or any European races or stuff like that. But what it is I keep saying it's a very pleasant surprise. That's what it is, and it has other people rattled. And this is what I want. I don't want to be patted on the head. That's how I hated. I don't want to be like, oh, we like you. You only like us because you're in the mud. You're telling me, everyone rattled.
We ain't rivals no more.
I hated everyone changed on us after the Liverpool game, but it was sort of like, for me, it was like, well done. I hated that. We lost against Liverpool, this season. And I hated that. Oh, yeah, but you play very well. I don't like that. I don't like it. I never want to feel like that. It's almost patronizing. Oh, well done, little lad. Yeah, well done. You've done well in the race. You finished 7th. All that shit.
That's the thing. I like the respect we were getting, but I didn't want to do too much either because
I don't want to prop that. I never want to prop a defeat unless we've been cheated really badly. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't want to.
I just think it deeps how low people really rated us. I was like, oh, you know what? You went down with style.
People had us 10th. I remember people had us 10th.
And also for Sam Caicedo, for me, Caicedo has been our best player.
Yeah, no, I agree with Sam. It's just me personally. It's not like I'm not nothing against the people that said it. It's just how I felt. It was like, yeah, but I don't want to be true. That was like for me, it was like when someone plays well against us, like a lower league team, and they just lose by the odd goal or something like that, and we go, yeah, you did very well. I don't. That's just me and a personal thing.
It's just standards. There's nothing wrong with that. If we lose, there shouldn't be a lot to flex about. Like that's it. Like again, there was a lot of positive take from it.
Sam's right. Arsenal fans were crying about it because if you remember that Arsenal-Liverpool match, Liverpool were far better than Arsenal in that second half or that game when they drew 2-2. And, they should have really maybe possibly won that.
They're just insecure, bro. They're so fucking insecure. All of
they're the biggest team that I've ever known that would rather seek validation above being hated. That's why I always go to Man City fans. I always go, embrace the hate, man. That means you're successful.
Seek trophies? No, give me validation. Tell me my team's good.
Tell me I'm doing well. Fucking,
what's wrong with you, man? Just win some fucking trophies and people will respect you.
Win some trophies, innit?
Trophies talk.
Don't even get your respect. Don't even worry about respect. Just start showing your trophies. That's what it is.
People didn't respect us until we started winning trophies. That's it. People are now starting to respect us. You know what will also confirm that? Trophies. That's why man are trying to put us in a title race now. But yeah, shout out to Mo Bay to saying slap the likes and don't be a Havertz. Big facts. Everybody hit that like button. Dinishan also says, opinion on the front three of Mount, Havertz, and Gallagher. Brother, another indictment of how far we've come. We went to the Etihad with this.
And Newcastle.
Bro, the Newcastle lineup.
No, it was Broja. Sorry, it's Broja instead of Havertz. Yeah, it was Broja, Gallagher, and Mount. Yeah.
Do you remember the Lampard lineups? Brentford at home, we had Kante, Gallagher, and I think Sterling up top.
Lord of mercy.
Real Madrid 2-0 down at home. We go Gallagher and Havertz by themselves.
Good Lord Almighty. And people
we
want
have
to talk
gone
about
through a lot in the last 2 years.
And people want to talk about standards. Jesus H. There are people still propping those players now. You know what I mean? Still people propping players now. Unbelievable.
Fucking idiots, bruv. Absolute idiots. But you see where we've gone through in the last 2 years. This is why I'm saying to everybody, just keep the chill guy narrative. That's it. Just vibe, just enjoy the points. Say what you want. Like, I'm not saying don't say we're in a title race, but that also doesn't inquire expectations. So you're not expecting us to do it. So believe. Be happy with all of that. It's just for me, I'd rather just let the rivals simmer. So road to 70 for me personally. I have my own personal agendas I need to run. Personally. Which is why for the rest of you, man, you choose whether you want to join that or not. It will not be an I told you so. It will not, because I like that we can talk like this. But I'm going to wait till we get closer to 70 points before we get to that point. I think that's the way I'm going to handle it. But yeah, big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Andrew, it's been great to have you on the show as well. I always appreciate your time, genuinely. I'm going to send everyone over to Northside. Northside's live right now. He dropped us a redirect a few days ago, so I'm going to send everyone back over there. And yeah, big up to every single one of you. Hit the like, subscribe. We will be back tomorrow. And as always...
A-listers tonight on Don Hassam's channel. A-listers tonight. You might see an Arsenal flambeing.
You're going to see Egal just running around in circles for 2 hours.
Arsenal barbecue. It might happen. A Liverpool-Chelsea alliance to cook Arsenal. That's what's going to happen. You're so lucky there's no Man City fan on there. That's what I would say.
Oh, no, there is. Vater's on.
Oh, no, Mr. Vater.
Yeah, he's the newest inductee to the A-listers.
Oh, so no, poor Vater. No.
Yeah, you're going to have to explain that Manchester derby defeat because, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, you want to know something, counters? Don't forget 1 second counters. I want that. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. See how many times he says that. We'll see you lot in an hour, people. Big up, everybody. Like, subscribe. Up the Chelsea.